You're not getting a full night's kip unless you're sedated on meds. Fact. It's difficult, that. So you can imagine the dynamics on such an environment that's enclosed and they don't move. Do you understand? So it's not like 20 and off and we've got 20 fresh faces. You're stuck on this wing with the same faces, all the same mental conditions going on. You can be in your bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, you'll have a kid down there banging out his door and he won't stop for hours. There's all you can do except try and get your head down. It's hard work, mate. You don't want to be in there. It'll proper psychologically harm you. Look at me. So I'm 46 years old now, people. I've spent more than half of my life in jail. I've spent 25 years of my 46 in prison. Do you understand? And the other 21 years where you haven't been in prison, 8 of them have just happened now. Do you understand? So most of my childhood, most of my teenage years, locked off in custodial settings. The last 8 years you haven't been in custody. Every year before that, in custody. It's not good, is it? And what happened to me can happen to any one of you kids. It's happening to you now. It's happening to you right now. What happened to me, what happened to my brother, is happening to hundreds of lads right now in the city of Liverpool. They just don't realise it's happening yet. You know, the 16 going on a bit of remand, coming out. They don't understand what path they're on. They're going to continue. Remand, sentence, sentence. Long one. See you later. It's the way it works with the real ones on the streets. You know, the ones that are getting into gangbang, and eventually you're getting into the firearms, you're getting into the violence. You'll have remand, sentence, double figures. See you later. No more chances, no more warnings, no more cautions or conditional discharges. 20 rech, bang, see you later. And you're only 26. You're only 26, but you've been in the game since you were 15, so you've had an 11-year run in it, which is long, trust me. You don't realise how long you're in the game for. You know, you've got kids that are still in the game and now they've been in it for 25 years. Still not millionaires. Still going to jail. Still skint, his head's gone. But they've been on the same path as you for 20, 30 years, kid. Look where they are. Yeah, they might have a nice car to show for it, but that is it. That's it. They still haven't got an house outright. You know, that's the old objective in here, isn't it? Getting financially secure off what you're doing. You don't get it off the drug trade no more. There's no one at all, absolutely no one who's in that game that's financially secure. Doesn't matter if you've got $1 million in the bank, he's not secure. He sits there every night thinking it can go wrong in the morning. I could lose everything in the morning. Drop of a hat, gone. And it can. And they'll go through their life sitting there thinking a busy's gonna come, a busy's gonna come, a busy's gonna come. It's like these hard knock kids that have gone to jail and they've done murders outside, but they've gone to jail for selling drugs. And he's sitting in jail with a 20, but he's got a couple of M's outside. He's going to be in 10 years, overthinking. Trust me on that. Trust me on that. That kid who's in jail doing 20 for his conspiracy to supply drugs is going to end up by the time he gets out, because he's sitting there thinking, they're coming me for them murder charges. They're coming for me for them murder charges. Every night in that cell, that's going through his head. They're coming for me for them murder charges. Honest to God, lah. So when you've got like that hanging over you, and you haven't been convicted or caught for it, every night you're thinking about it. Every single night of your life you're thinking about that. Yes, McLean, Ryan James. And depending on what level you are, depending on what you're living with every night. You know, if you don't worry about your life and not, and you probably won't have many things on your mind of a night. Do you understand? But if you're worried about your life and where you're going, and you're taking major risk, you're sitting there every night with your head gone, insecure. It's not a good life to live, honest to God. Just a peace of mind is what people want at the end of it all, you know, You ask any big top... what did Warren say the other day when he was in court? What have you heard me say? Oh, since you've known me, I just want peace of mind. What's Curtis Warren saying when he's in court? I just want this to stop. I just want peace of mind. That's the end game for all yous. So the less damage you can do to yourselves on the way there, the better for yourselves, honest to God. You'll get into your late 30s, 40s and start focusing on how much is running through your head and how much peace of mind you need. So the best way to do it is listen to what I've just said to you and stop filling your head from an early age. Stop engaging with that's going to be messy when you grow older. You know, when you're seeing your mate wade in with a hammer and you don't think about it now. You know, if your mate's being shot dead next to you and he's got 8 holes in his chest and blood's pissing out of him, it's going all over you. You don't forget that, mate. You just don't forget it, mate. Honest to God. You know, when your mate's being weighed in with lump hammers and his skull's gone all over the gaff, you forget it while it happens. You know, you have a joint, you go back into the fast life. You're on one. You forget about it for years. But then your life slows down when you get older. You're not making the same amount of money. You're not associating with the same people. All of a sudden you start contemplating where you are in life, what you need to be doing with yourself to make life longer. Then you start remembering your mate who got craved in with the hammer. Then you start remembering your mate who had 8 bullet holes in his chest. Then you start remembering when your ma got a jaw broke by that drug dealer around the corner because you owed him dough. Then you know why you can't. All this starts hitting you on the chin when you get older. All of it. And if you're not durable, if you're not ready for it, it'll unlive you. Fact. Every single one of you that are sat here now, regardless of your age, you're going to come to a moment of realisation. And if you haven't done what you should have done as a man for your children, for your family, that realisation is going to drop you like you've just had your jaw snapped. And it's touch and go whether you get back up off it. I'm telling you, mate. Get yourself ready for that. Get yourself ready for that, mate. So when you do get to that moment of realisation, you want to get into that moment of realisation going, you know what? I've done my kids proud. You know what? I've got my wife there, she's smiling. I've got my kids, I've got the house. I've left a little bit of bricks and mortar for me kids if anything goes wrong for me down there. I've had a good life and I've raised some belting kids. That's what you need to be realising when you get to this realisation phase. 40, 41. You need to be realising that you've done for you and your family, not the terribles that you haven't done. Because it's going to ruin you as a man. And I'm not just telling you this to like put you on your back foot. No one seems to speak about that moment of realisation. And every single man is going to get it. Every single man is going to get that moment of clarity in his mature adult life. And it's going to hit home. If you've done well, if you're not on no one, if you've done it correctly, you will feel like you're on top of the world. But if you look back and you've neglected your kids in the slightest, you're going to end up on your back and you're going to feel so demoralised and so undermotivated, you won't want to live. And when you're seeing all these grown men jumping off bridges, jumping on trains, all this mad jumping in water, you wonder what's going on. Guess what? They've reached that phase of realisation. and they've looked back on their life and realised they've established absolutely all in the last 40 years, and it kills them instantly. Trust me. I was lucky to keep going. What kept me going? Because I was up in life. If I wasn't up in life and got to 40 and looked back and I'd just up, you've got lads here who've never been to prison, haven't got a criminal record, I've got a network of decent people around them, I've got employment, and they're doing absolutely fuck all with it. Nothing. And they'll get to that 40 years and just go, pfft. I better shut up because there's a lot of people getting a little bit messy on it. But that's the way it is, people, honest to God. If you don't want to end up when you're 40, start sorting yourself out now. And there's loads of things that can make you by the time you get to that age. The main thing that the majority of us young lads are ending off is that gang culture. You ask anyone that's been in that gang culture, that's survived it like me, and they'll tell you stay away from it. You won't hear no decent, respectful kid who's gone through that I've gone through, come out the other end and encourage you to get involved. If you have, he's an horrible, dangerous prick. You'll have serious kids like me telling you, swerve that life. How many serious kids you need to hear that from? How many naughty who've had your area shook, had every criminal in that area shook to, how many people like that do you need to tell you, swerve that game, lad? Everyone will tell you. Every single one that has survived that will tell your kids, don't go near that. Stay well away from it. You just need to listen. That life is the life to lead, and this life, you've got loads of money, you've got loads of girls, you've got but there's no longevity in it. There's absolutely no longevity in it. There's no long-term pros to it. There's all consequences, and they're all negative to it. You were 16, start selling drugs. By the time you're 26, you will have been to prison. You would have been involved in a violent situation. You've probably had the love of your life off because you've changed your character and your personality. All this in 10 years. And that first 10 years wrecks the next 10 and the 10 after that. So just choose a life, not a knife, mate. Look at the options you've got. Look at the paths that's in front of you. You've got the knife life and you've got the good life. Where do you want to go? Knife life, gang banging, drug dealing, drug taking, harming women, harming children. Because this is what you do on that path, whether you like it or not. Your intentions mightn't be to harm women and children, but your behaviour and how you're conducting yourself in your area is damaging every woman and child in that area. This is what you need to understand. You're not just damaging that smackhead, you're damaging that smackhead's 3 kids. You know, when you're going to knocking at that smackhead's house and you've got a little baby in the window looking at you smiling, you are ruining that kid's life. Completely ruining it. Yeah, it's the mum's responsibility, but you've got the mum an addiction. That mum's looking for you every morning instead of the baby. That mum's giving you all the benefits instead of buying food for that baby. And this is what you're doing, destroying your own kind. You don't give a because you're getting led astray by evil, manipulative rats that are just on the money thing. They don't give a who they're hurting. Why? Because their parents are fuffy. They don't give two shit they reckon anyone else's family. They haven't got the empathy for it. And it's an ongoing cycle. And the only people that can stop that cycle from continuing are use youthful minds. Use 14, 15, 16-year-old kids. Use the only ones that can stop this poisonous cycle that's been destroying our streets since the 70s. Some of you weren't even born, but look what you're born into because of it. Look what you're born into because of drugs. Look at the people running around your estate with no limbs. Look at the girls that can't even look after their own kids because they're on the coke. This is all the impact of what you're doing on our streets and our communities, and you give me for screaming about it. You're all on my case because I'm screaming about this. You know, when I'm dead and buried and you've grew up, you will realise why I have been putting myself at risk and screaming at the top of my voice over this. It's one of the biggest problems we've got, if not the biggest. Terrorism, immigration, all the other keep on talking about. Organised crime and drug dealing within your community is the number one problem for every family on our estates. Every single one. It's not terrorists killing that kid at the top of the street. It's not terrorists shooting your house. It's not terrorists trying to shoot someone outside your kid's school. It's not terrorists burning that business down, attacking that nan, robbing that grand's watch, kicking that kid's door in for his car. This is all organised crime groups and what they're doing. All of it. How many murders have happened in your city this year? Guess what? 1 or 2 are not from organised crime groups. The rest is. The rest is, if you've got 10 murders in Liverpool, 8 of them are due to organised crime groups. Every so often you'll have an incident like Southport, like Alderey. Every other incident is to do with the organised crime groups. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you need to realise that. You need to understand just how much of a problem it is to your children. Trust me that. Anyway, that's the way I am. I don't give a... You can label me what you want. You can assassinate me character. Call me a kiddie messer. Call me a snitch. Call me all this that you've done for years. Nothing's new. You've been here to hit me with this for years. The only difference is real people can realise real eyes. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's people here now that know I'm 100% real. Yeah, I'm a bit tapped. But look at the life. I'm not here doing this to make money. I'm not here to get famous. I'm not here to do nothing but promote the message of choose a life, not a knife. And what does that entail? Trying to prevent your kids from getting caught up in drug dealing and gang life. Eventually going into prison or an early grave. And everything in between. Depending on who he's working for, depends whether he's getting his bum cheeks violated.